What in the name of Aora is that?
You, think it's sleeping?
I've never seen anything like it before. I don't believe it's a statue. No, this was alive once. And the people who lived here were terrified of it.
Never a dull moment with you in charge.
Take Worth and Roth!
You've got better aim than a sharpshooter, Giada.
Death into life. Interesting. The Godless clearly had some ideas about reincarnation, even if they didn't have a god.
Every other culture I've come across reveres the gods, even if they give them different names and pictures.
Can you imagine life without any gods to guide your destiny? Without anyone shepherding you this way and that? Of course I can imagine it, but I'll wager you have a harder time. Looks like quite a party. Let's break it up. How did they even get down here? Clever things must have their own secret entrance. I'll say it, I'm impressed.
Up 10!
Take your best shot.
Take Worth and Roth! Worth and Roth!
Couldn't have done it better.
And rock! Earth and rock!
Come on! Come on! If there are any monsters left, show yourselves. Some of us have work to do. I guess that means the coast is clear. Let's have a look at the Adra pillar.
Come, hear us through the Adra. Find us.
Earth and rock!
We've backed the Dream Scourge into a corner. I say we pin it down here and now, before it wriggles away from us. The Godless erected many important sites around Pillars of Adra, though I can't speak to their motives. The last time we tried this, you felt something, yes? Maybe it had to do with your godlike nature. Try making contact with the Adra this time. It could only help. The effect should be stronger than before. Brace yourself.
You are here. You who bring us kind words and soothing thoughts, we welcome you. The mourners are gone now. Only the memories remain. Alone we have been, and alone you leave us still. Your cruelty wounds us. The Akita twined around us. They sang in awe of what we made. They called us the gardener, steward of life. Sabadal. None who remember us still live. But we have felt in you the seed of connection. We have sought you, called to you. And you reach back. We have not known the joy of companionship in so long. No, we do desire our freedom, yes, but we also wish to know you. Can two shoots not spring from the same seed? Find us, free us. The rot that festers seeks into us as well. Our cage is far from here, buried in the garden, beyond the poison sea. Would that we knew. Our jailers gave us no explanation. But perhaps the ancients who were beloved to us, perhaps they can quiet the questions in your mind. Go to the halls of the Tabaru Sanakis. We will try to explain. Those who cherish us, the chosen of the Akida, wait there. They will show you the way to the garden. To our prison. We will cleanse this rot with you once our hands are unbound. Find us in the garden. We twine, we await. First, let us offer you a sliver of our power, a boon to help you survive and find us. You rejected us once before. Let us lend our shade and strength, for your sake and ours. We offer you gifts any would covet, and you search them for rot? You are our kin, the seed of our soul. We would see you avoid our fate. We would see you survive. Will you accept it? A wasted gesture, then. It is yours to regret. Now hurry to the halls of the Tabaru Sanakis. Bind us. Free us.
You're awake. Finally. We really pushed the phantasmal focus to its limits.
You were out a long time. We gotta start bringing pillows.
For a second there, I thought... Actually, never mind what I thought. It's a good thing we got results, because I have no desire to put you through that again. While you were out, I got some clear readings of the Dream Scourge. I've tracked its origin to the center of the Living Lands, somewhere deep in the untouched wilderness. You've heard of it? Fascinating. Maybe someone knows about this garden of yours. If we find the garden, we can cut off the Dream Scourge at its source. I hesitate to bring it up, but you were muttering while you were out. Had quite a lot to say. Whatever you were communing with, it had a spiritual energy I've encountered before, though only in traces. It must be connected to the Dream Scourge. Perhaps they share a similar origin. Yes, Sapadal. Who are they? What are they to you? Oh. I'm sorry, what? Sapadal is a god? But that's impossible! How could we have missed this? A trapped god. Trapped. And you spoke to them through the Adra. Maybe that tells us something. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We've long theorized that all Adra is connected, but that changed when Animancers came to the Living Lands. The Adra here is severed from the rest of Eora, connected only to itself, or so we believe. If Sapadal speaks and works through Adra, then the Living Lands is their prison, their tomb. Now that is a tall order. We know the Dream Scourge is coming from this garden of yours. Maybe Sapadal can help us fight it.
I got a headache just thinking about it, and I'm not the one with the god knocking around in there.
The real question is, where do I start? Doesn't ring a bell, but maybe someone's heard of it before. We'll find the source of the Dream Scourge in the garden, but we have to find the garden first.
Then that's where we start.
Let's return to Fior Mesiverno. Banished or not, maybe I can squeeze a few answers out of my colleagues. I wouldn't count on it. Besides, what good am I to Fior Mesiverno anymore? The farms, the community, my research, they all depend on animancy. But the Dream Scourge is the end of animancy, the end of the Living Lands as we know it. We should leave this place and its memories. There's nothing more for us here.
Finding a secret entrance and discovering a new god. Not bad for a day's work.
Stop! The trees splinter, the rice turns black. The pain! The pain! Books into embers, words swallowed by the ash.
I lost you for a second there. Something the matter? Oh no. Let's go. You take the lead.
Come on. There's a way up those stairs.
There is such a thing as learning too much. The mortal mind can only take so many revelations at a time. What we discovered here, it changes everything.
A hidden god in the living lands. Who knew?
Oh my god. No!
Andra's depths. This was no accident.
What happened? Who did this? It's all gone. The city. My home. Right. We should be a moving target. In case anyone comes for us next. We have to check on the others. At least let me find Quilici. Any survivors would have evacuated to the farms north of town. Come. There's not a moment to waste.
A city up in flames? You tell me who your coin is on.
I can't believe this. What you smell is the workshop going up in flames. Our books, our chemicals, our machines. Many of those inventions were originals from the Valian republics. One of a kind, irreplaceable. I don't know why I'm dwelling on that. We lost more than our work.
Your work was your home. You're allowed to mourn it.
They burn. They blind us.
I hope everyone is all right. Animancers know how to plan for an emergency. We've never seen one like this. If anything happened to Quilici, I don't know what I'd do.
Let's get to the farms. If there's trouble, we can help.
Again and again they strike.
Whoa. It's the info.
Kai,
You
weapons
should
ready.
be here.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
Turn back in. And take the Animancer with you.
What are we waiting for? I have some aggression to unleash.
Why will they not leave us? It cuts. It cuts.
We need to... Come on. There's no time to lose.
There's the city. What's left of it. Gods, who could do this to us? Who could burn us out like rats and call it a victory?
So many years. And mourn later. Join the others at the old farms. We can protect you. Same goes for you, Envoy. Vidaro wants to speak with you. The old farms are to the north.
The road can pass.
I'm with you!
Why will they not leave us? Cuts. Cuts.
Not bad, Envoy. Bravo!
He died saving me. I owe him my life. May he pass swiftly into the beyond.
Look, they made it out. Oh, thank the gods. Thank the gods. I needed that. I needed to see them so badly. It felt like I couldn't breathe.
Take a few more deep breaths. We're not going anywhere.
Rabbits in a burrow. Hunted.
You showed up at a bad time.
These people are looking for leadership. A sense of direction. We should find Kulichi.
No time to talk. People are dead.
What was it all for?
Rebuilding has begun. From the ashes, God will rise.
You heard Vidal. The settlement is done.
This settlement is our home. I can't believe the waste of
Envoy? Oh, thank goodness. For a moment there, I thought we'd lost you in the attack.
No surprises there. We've had nothing but misfortune since you arrived.
Ignacy, calm yourself.
Why should I be calm? His people burned my city.
The Steel Garrote are hardly his people.
They offered us no negotiation, no peaceful terms. Just flames and laughter as we ran. Your Inquisitor is determined to burn out anyone who doesn't conform to Adairan ways.
We agree on one thing. The Steel Garrote have declared war on the Living Lands.
That sort of thinking is precisely why my father fled the Valian republics.
What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradis. This attack was meant to weaken us. No doubt they will circle back to finish what they started. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it.
I may have spoken in haste before.
Pardon?
The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch. And I wasn't strong enough to bear it. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness. When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell him it's madness.
Envoy, is it true?
You truly think you can find a god? I said I'd keep an open mind, but this is a bit much.
First the Dream Scourge, then the Steel Garrote, and now, what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
There is no reason to stay, unless you count picking through the ashes. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradise. Exactly. As long as we are Animancers, the adherents will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous.
Thirdborn's full of hardy types. Lots of former soldiers and mercenaries. A rough bunch, but good to have at your back. It's also farther from the Steel Garrote's base of operations. That's where I'd make my stand.
Thirdborn has its own problems. Paradise is more secure, but it would mean living under a Diran rule. I don't like our options, but that shouldn't stop us from committing to one.
We'll be proud to lend our strength to theirs, as Animancers and as fellow expatriates.
I have my misgivings, but you helped my father leave the Republics. I trust you to help us again. What of you, Envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Oh, I do.
Yardsley? Don't tell me you are getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Right, layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Nakukubel, which is in Shatterscarp. So we've got to get there now. Before Fiora went up in flames, that Garrote monster took my research. Your kin are on their way to the garden now. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerity. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
Ugh, what a whirlwind. God, I love that tiny woman. Naturally. She's feisty, passionate, loyal, determined. My life would not be the same without her.
For what it's worth, I vouch for Yatsley. She's a good friend and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers.
Then we should approach carefully. They'll be on their guard after this.
I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, envoy.
Exploring the living lands with a friend. What more could I ask for?
Back to Shatterscarp, then.
Seems like a lifetime ago I was worried about the harvest. Now look at us. After you've seen emeralds stare and bloom, gods, nothing else compares. I had a chance to pack up some goods before the adherents put the rest to the torch. Any of it's yours for the right price.
It's you. The godlike. The Rangers told me you help people in dire straits. I thought they were lying. But here you are. Where were you when the Garrote came? Couldn't anyone have prevented this? Forgive me, please. I forget myself. Yes. I know everyone here is. But they cannot begin to grasp what my family has been through. I'll be straight with you. The Steel Garrot's captain stole something precious from me. It wasn't enough to burn our city. Now they have to loot us too. She'll let you close. You can take her prize back. But you will have to kill her first. Of course I want revenge. They killed my nephew, and their captain, Karnet, made off with his ring. You'll find her at the Eastern Watchtower. It's not far from here. I warn you, though, her troops will probably still be with her. You want to subject yourself to that? Fine. I can't think about her wearing our emblem. It makes me ill. I should go now. My sister will need help preparing my nephew's body. We'll both be praying for you. Damn the demons! Damn the Steel Garrot! I spit on their graves! How can our family go on? Murderers, if they wanted them.
could this have happened? We're the best animators in the world. Maybe half of us.
We should talk. Fiorme Severno was the pride of 2 generations. And now, nothing but ashes and embers. My home, my lab, my parents. It feels as if I lost them all over again. The steel garrote are just a symptom. I keep asking myself, how could I have missed this? How could I not have known an attack was coming? We were all so occupied with the Dream Scourge, we missed the enemy on our doorstep. No matter where Animancers go, someone is always trying to kill us. Nothing enrages the gods more than mortals in pursuit of knowledge. Don't worry. I plan to hold the mortals accountable. As many of them as it takes. Listen to me. A failed Animancer lashing out at everything in reach. Even with all the tools at my disposal. I couldn't stop the Dream Scourge. And I couldn't save my people. How do I live up to my family's example when I can't even help myself? I do. My parents died pursuing a better future for Animancers. I can't let their sacrifice be for nothing. And right now, that's all it is. I have some pondering to do. Let me know if there's anything else. Sending my people to Thirdborn. It's a good arrangement. They get a roof over their heads. The city gets Animancers. And everyone gets along. For once. We should try to harness that goodwill, or replicate it like an energy source. On the other hand, maybe not. Look, I know you didn't come to this island to help us. And yet you were here when others would have looked away. Despite everything that happened, it means a lot. Not a chance. You're going to accept my gratitude and enjoy every second of it. Well, onward to better things. If you need anything, you know where to find me. What's on your mind? Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago. In the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position. Unfortunately, yes. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated. His political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best. Not exactly, but close. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics, giving thanks to his dark god. We prefer to call it an intellectual haven of free thinkers, but it's true that most of us are animancers. Spirento was full of animancers, many of them in debt, and Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Nonsense, of course. And now, Maxim Vidaro's great achievement is a smoldering ruin. Endings are difficult to pin down, because nothing truly ends. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Adiran ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them. Look around. My home was destroyed, and the land is dying all around us. What more is there to say? What are you so curious about? That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Casto led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of animancy, and apparently he had interests here. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castle is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valian trading company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castle succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Ah, a simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. And look how well that turned out. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand. One lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul to become fully aware of my past lives. Every animancer tries and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fjore's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. You wouldn't be the first to think so. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. She was very kind, but there were days when she lived in her head, and days that stretched into weeks. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much, and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Quilici got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. It's just a tool. Even a wool scarf is dangerous in the wrong hands. Besides, studying a pillar of Adra is not the same as prying apart the fabric of the living lands. My mother learned that the hard way. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time. Or the forces behind it. That's all I care to say for now. At least, about this topic. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change Animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. That's animancy for you. We all accept the risks. No animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Kai wears his confidence like a mask. We all do. No one wants to project their frailties. But in his case, hiding behind it amplifies his better qualities. So I say, let him have his mask. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. We're all wounded. That's the price of survival in the living lands. Just look at you. Only just got here and you died in the line of duty. You may not be from the living lands, but the island left you a scar to remember. Now, you're just like us. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you have a reputation for being an unlawful misfit. This is the frontier, after all. We don't exactly do things by the book. You helped Fiorme Siverno through an awful time. We did our best. No one will forget that. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. Well, my future is in shambles, and I have no idea what to do next. Oh, and my home burned down. Apart from that, fine. Truthfully, I'm a bit lost. Leaving Fiorme Siverno was supposed to be liberating. We've seen and done incredible things, but I'm no closer to finishing my family's work. What I'm up against is much bigger than either of us. Through animancy, I can harness the wild essence of the living lands and put it to good use. But what if I tried, only to have it lash out and destroy me? I'd be no better off than my parents. The dream scourge is infecting our Adra, holding back my work. Until I understand it, until I can control it, I can't do anything. I'm useless. I'm nothing. Of course. I've heard that one before. Quilici always told me to slow down, to stop and appreciate the land I'm trying so hard to fix. But how can I slow down when I only have one lifetime to get this right? I'll find answers in the garden. For better or worse. I'll tell you whatever I know. If I must. Thank you again for letting me join you. An animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an animancer feels different without Fiorme Siverno. If only you could have seen the city in brighter times. What a loss. That feeling like my potential was only limited by my imagination. I'd like to have that back. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Good, because I have a lot of research to do, and this could take a while. It's a shame we had to meet under these circumstances. Plague, war, maybe the end of the living lands. Well, no point in worrying over what might have been. I enjoy seeing the world through your eyes. Despite everything that's happened, you always know where to find hope. Keep it that way. Thanks for talking. I can't believe it. Ranger Dorso, a traitor to Fior Messiverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained, more or less. Usually, my people send traitors into exile. Let nature sort them out. Exile in the living lands is not the worst fate a criminal can suffer, but it's close, and always deserved. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. Until next time. Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsli reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but to her it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. What a pain. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsli stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. Pleasant dreams. I can't believe it. My city. It's all gone.
Is it just me, or does the night seem darker here? Nudge me if you hear anything in the woods.
Envoy, it's clear that no matter what happened, these people couldn't stay in Fior. Just not sure you did the right thing. These people won't survive long in a place like Thirdborn. I suppose that's true. Still think they'll need help. At least they can do their animancy out there. I assume that's some comfort to them. Right, changing the subject. Fine. You've been patient enough, I suppose. Right. Solace isn't an easy place to live. The food is stale and meager. The water tastes like steel and old meat. Everyone knows everyone else. No privacy, no silence, no time to yourself. I'm a wilderness expert. I can get privacy whenever I want it. Solace is a walled keep in the harshest region of the lands. Isolated is an understatement. Honestly, all of that was fine. But there was a peculiar kind of silence I didn't love. Huh, you should be a sharpshooter. You keep hitting the target. I have only the faintest memories of my parents, which was fine. I had friends and mentors and trainers and elders. When I asked about my real parents, though, they just told me I was safe now, and that the Wardens were my family. I never knew if my parents were alive or dead. I like to assume that they had died fighting some giant monster in the Tusks, but no one would say. When I asked for more, they changed the subject, like I wasn't worthy of a backstory. Where else would I be from? I'm sure as Sokka not from Adir. I'm from Solace, for whatever that's worth. My oldest memories are of Solace. My oldest friend is from there. Right. You asked. Right. I'm sure you'll find it absolutely gripping. Go ahead. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. As you know, Kai and I have worked together in the past. It's a blessed miracle he never got me killed. Honestly, he's a good guy. A bit too quick to ask questions for my taste, but... Kai's good enough. Tell him I said that I'll cut a hole in your water skins. Until next time.
I'm going to miss Fior Masiverno.
You feel that? Must be magical. Hope it doesn't give me weird dreams.
Envoy? Gods, I can't believe what's happening around here. Fior has been destroyed. Just like that. Leaving home behind is one thing. Losing it forever is another. I couldn't imagine. Giada has taken some hits lately, and she's still here. I guess there's something to take away from that. Right, changing the subject. Thanks for talking.
I hope Thirdborn is a good community for my people. We've been through... a lot.
Thirdborn. One's a rough town, but it's not all bad, assuming they're willing. Pull their weight.
Animancers can be an eccentric bunch, but we know.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. Is the mycelium monstrous? Fair or foul, it merely lives. Endless spring, they breathe, they flower, they will never fade. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change? Life. Germinate the sprouts. No winter, only spring. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. More than alive. No suffering, no end. Sleep now. Dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.
They're coming for the queen. Take her out. Nice work. Aye, aye. Good one! Come and get it. This one's mine.
Soldiers ahead, by the watchtower. What's our move, envoy?
Anyway, what are you doing here? Our report said you were still in Fjord. We won't be, for long. Our objectives for the region are complete. Now, state your business, and don't waste my time. We're moving out. Oh? And how many did you cut down in Donshore alone? I killed one sentry. I'm not going to answer for the rest. You come here as an agent of Adir's will, and you challenge the validity of their victory. Very well. Let me remind you what the Empire does to traitors. Attack!
Oh, don't!
Isn't helping. It's been wrong.
Next one's Just like the good old days.
Is it done? Is the captain dead? I knew I could trust you. And the ring? My family will never hear. But at least we have something to remember him by. The gods favor you. Safe journey, godlike.